What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful day today. I was just setting up everything. I got the Facebook feed. We are streaming live to Facebook and YouTube. And yeah, if you are on Facebook, go ahead and click on that link so we could see your name. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know. Give me a mic check and let me know if you guys hear me all right. I don't want to be speaking in thin air to nobody. So yeah, again, whoever's on Facebook, you can just go ahead and follow that link. And Stephen, welcome. Welcome, David. We got Matt's in the house as well. Thank you guys for joining tonight. And yeah, today's just going to be a live Q&A. I got some questions from some viewer submitted questions. We also have, we're going to be going over those. They're mainly business questions today. As far as repair or business questions, they're basically all business related. So if you guys have any questions regarding small engine repair, you can do so by leaving a comment down below. So let's be clear, I'm not the top of the line mechanic. I'm not a know-it-all. So if there's a question that you ask that I don't know the answer to, I'll be honest with you and say I don't know the answer. But we got a lot of mechanics on here that will I'll attempt to answer that question, and the mechanics out there in the comments can also chime in and give their opinions on how to repair it or what part number you need and whatnot. So you guys kind of understand there. So wow, a lot of people jumping on. Jungle Bob, we have Terry Baker, welcome. We have the Rusty Rooster on here. We have John Richard. We have Gravely Man 56. Tampa Boys Customs, welcome. We got Brandon Swendson on here. And thank you guys so much. Well, Brandon's the first one with the question, so we're going to do our best to answer that. Let me throw it up on here. Brandon, your question is, I'm working on a Craftsman snowblower. I got the carb issues fixed. However, now I have no spark. What is the best way to test for spark, and what are the most common things to look for? So Brandon, the best way to test for spark is obviously using a spark tester, or if you have access to take the spark and spark plug boot out and ground it to either your cylinder block or to a piece of metal to check to see if you have spark and spark plug. I don't recommend that. Sometimes you have fuel that might shoot out of your cylinder head, and spark and fuel do not mix. But if you are certain that you have no spark, your best bet is to maybe replace the spark plug with an OEM one, or try to at least, or if you change the spark plug and you still get no spark, then you got to be looking into testing your magneto, or if they call it a ignition module, so they call it. So check your ignition module and magneto, and to see, and also it could be a ground wire, but more than likely it's either your spark plug or your ignition module itself. So test those two things, but I'd highly recommend, Brandon, you look into getting a spark plug tester. Oregon makes a good one. I think they sell for around 10 to 20 bucks or something like that. So yeah, they're not too bad. I mean, I have a few spark plug testers myself. I always keep a few of them on hand just because you never know when your spark plug tester might be bad. So, and I do the same for my compression testers and everything like that. I hope that answered your question, Brandon. Sorry if that wasn't the best answer, but I appreciate you asking that. Okay. And then we have John Richard here. We have Max's Small Engine Repair, and Harry is on here as well. Welcome, guys. We appreciate you jumping on. So again, yeah, I just wanted to clarify, we're going to be doing Q&A right now. And then later on, I will also, what I'll do is I'll kind of we'll turn it into kind of a more chat type of deal. I'll throw the link out there. And if anybody wants to jump on here as a guest, then you can do so by clicking the link and proceeding through that the link to get on here. So with me, you can be a guest. I could throw you on here. You can ask questions yourself or just hang out with me. So if you want to get on the panel, you can, but that'll be later on. John Richard says, would it be better to buy or lease a garage? It depends, John. If you're doing this from home and if you have a garage already, obviously you don't need to buy or lease one. Me personally, I've never looked into leasing a shop or garage or like business space. I do all of my repairs actually at my home, so I do all the garage repairs in the garage, which again, all I do is pay for my rent. So yeah, let's see. Kyle is here as well. Terry Baker says he's got a decent tester from Advanced Auto Parts. And I know you can get spark plug testers from any auto parts store. I know you can get a spark plug tester from Harbor Freight, which I don't recommend. I know they're cheaply made, but if you wanted I wouldn't say the best spark plug tester, but Echo, Steel, and Oregon probably make pretty much top of the line spark plug testers. But I'm sure there's different ones out there. The ones I've heard of, Echo, Steel, and Oregon make pretty good spark plug testers. So, but yeah, welcome guys. Appreciate you jumping on here. I'm going to be throwing on the first question from a viewer. It's the viewer submitted question. Let me see. First question of the day is, how much profit can you actually make in a small engine repair business? Good question to ask, but a very broad question to answer because it depends on basically how hard you work. If you want your business to grow, if you market, if you advertise, and if you pump money back into the business, you can make some decent profit just by gaining more clientele and making more money. If you're just a DIY hobbyist doing this at home, you're not going to make much profit. You're going to more than likely just make yourself some milk money. So if you really truly want to open up a small engine repair business, it's going to be tough the first years unless you have some cold, hard cash sitting around that you want to invest into marketing and advertisement and drive new leads to your business. So when you first begin, you're not going to make a lot of profit. Let's just be real. You're going to more than likely reinvest that back into the business. And then maybe throughout your second year or third year, you'll start seeing your profit numbers increase. So it varies, but to a very successful business, they can be in the six-figure range. Like small engine repair businesses, if you think about it, if you're pumping out 8 to 9 mowers a day, which I have seen some shops do that, you are going to be close to that 90,000 to 100,000. Well, that's gross income. So you got to put that into consideration, right? So gross income, you're going to be at around 90 to 100,000, and depending on what your revenue is throughout the year, you might be sitting at 25,000. Or if you don't want to reinvest it back into the business, you want to keep all that profit to yourself, you might be sitting at 40,000. So it depends. Again, how much profit you make truly depends on how serious you take your business. So yeah, that's number one question. Let's go back to the comments. Let's see. Oh, Rusty Rooster says, Brandon, get the type of tester that allows you to see the spark, not light up a bulb. Yeah, that's a good one, Rusty. I think Echo makes one as well. Let's see. He says, the helps. Thank you. I have an Oregon tester on order, but it hasn't come in yet. I pulled the cover and the flywheel is rusty. So my first thought was sanding points. I guess they are called. Oh, the magnet points on the flywheel. Yeah, you can sand those down. You don't have to sand down the whole flywheel, just where the magnetic points meet contact. That's all you have to sand. You can take a light flywheel, just get some sandpaper and sand that down, get the rust off, knock it down. Harry says, I'll be doing a video soon on pressing in bearings in an MTD snowblower drive gears. Ever try this? I have never done that, Harry. So unfortunately, no, I've never done that. I guess I've never had to repair snowblower drive gears yet. But I'll be expecting that video from you, Harry. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, Terry Baker has some positive feedback on the Harbor Freight compression tester. Did I say compression tester or did I say spark plug tester? I'm sorry. I meant spark plug tester aren't the best. I don't know if I said compression tester or not. Sorry, Terry, for that. But I do like Harbor Freight compression testers. I've used a few of them. So I switched over to Oregon and Briggs & Stratton compression testers from that point on. So, hey, welcome. We got Ash, AJP Garden Machines. Everybody check his channel out. He's a member of this channel. So we appreciate your membership, Ash. Thank you so much. All right. And welcome, Igniter, small engine repair. We appreciate you jumping on here. Oh, wow. I'm getting a lot of comments right now, so sorry if I'm throwing random ones up here. Okay, so we got one question down. Let's go back to our user submitted questions and answer one more. And actually, I just saw it. No, I didn't see it yet. Okay, so let's answer this question. Viewer submitted says, do you have a business credit card business account with a bank? Why? So when I first started, I didn't have a line of credit as far as for business. I did have a line of credit for personal use, and I was actually using that for my business purchases, which I didn't know any better, but I had a problem separating my personal expenses versus with my business expenses. And I was talking to my bank and they said, you can just open up a free business line of credit. It's a free checking account with my bank. But they also said that, you know, you can have your first year you can have your business credit card, 0% annual fee for the first year. And then after that, it's $25 annual fee. And I finally pulled the trigger and I did it. I got a business debit card and a business credit card, or a free checking account and a credit card with my bank. And the only reason I did that was, again, to separate my personal expenses and income with my business expenses and income. It just made life so much easier to have separate accounts. I can see how much money the business is making and how much I'm paying myself. It shows me what I've purchased for the business over what I've purchased for my personal, whether that be, you know, gas for my personal use vehicle, or for my business vehicle, or materials and supplies for business versus, you know, groceries for personal. So, but yeah, I had the option there, and thankfully I was able to apply for the business credit card and, you know, qualify for that. So we got that going in my business. So separating them out, it comes a long way. And also for accounting reasons as well. It just makes, you know, when you go to do your taxes, it makes life so much easier. So yeah, that answers that question. Let's see here. Wow. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of scrambling. 31 people on here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. JB's Workshop. How you doing, man? Hope you're having a wonderful day. JB's Workshop says, do you have a separate phone for business? Do you ever get overwhelmed with a large volume of calls? Absolutely. I do have a separate phone. Here's my personal phone, Samsung Galaxy 20 Ultra, and my old personal phone, which turned into a business phone, and we got Facebook Live streaming right now on it. So yes, I did separate both of them out. Just like banking, personal versus business, I had to separate them out. And to answer your second question, yes, I got overwhelmed with a large volume of calls during my off hours. I work 8 to 6. Basically, that's my hours of operation. And I was getting work calls after 6, and it would annoy me because I'd have to answer it. I don't know if it's a personal phone call or a business phone call. So I'd have to answer it. And if it's a customer and it's like 8, 9 p.m. during the night, you know, I want to spend time with my family. But I was getting these business calls around that time, and it was just it was overwhelming and a little bit stressful. So I had to separate out my business phone and my personal phone. So that way I can turn this off after 6. It doesn't matter. Business is closed after 6. I turn the phone off and don't answer any calls or messages until the next morning, 8 o'clock. That's when I open. But I turn my phone off at around 7 a.m. just in case somebody is in a pickle or really wants to contact me early. I'd usually answer an early phone call, business phone call. But now, obviously, just like we talked about business versus personal account and banking, same thing. I do the same thing with my cell phone service. So that's just me. That's just what I chose to do, and it has helped me tremendously. Let's see. Brandon Swenson says, yeah, that's what I meant. Is there the magnet is there anything on the backside of the flywheel I should be looking at? I don't currently have an impact gun to get it off. Usually not, Brandon, unless you have a stator, which that won't affect starting. Stator is usually generating a light that you have on your PC equipment. So it usually it won't impact your no spark issue. So you don't usually have to worry about what's on the backside. I don't know what kind of machine you have as well, Brandon. Sorry if I didn't catch that. If you said that and I didn't catch it, but just to kind of give you a heads up there. Max's Small Engine says, how long have you been working on small engines? Ever since I was little. And I think that goes for everybody. You know, we can say that we have 10 years of experience, but professional experience, I've had around 3 years. And that's working from a hardware store shop to now I'm running my own business. So right around 3 to 4 years of actual experience. But I've always, as a kid, worked and tinkered on engines ever since I was 10 years old, running a little small lawn care gig. I had to myself understand how to change the oil, spark plug on my Craftsman push mower that I had, and my Steel FS45 curve shaft trimmer. Had to do my own tune-ups on it. I obviously didn't want to take it to a shop. So at 10, I kind of had to figure out myself how engines work, how 2-stroke and 4-stroke engines work, and how they are different. I remember asking myself, I didn't even know what 50 to 1 was, and someone had to explain it to me. But yeah, at 10 years old, you don't know much. But I'm happy that I started working on machines instead of wasting my time as a 10-year-old playing video games. So I'm very thankful for my parents as well for kind of raising me in more of a hands-on work outside, do the duties of what you need to do for the day instead of actually sitting around playing video games. So, and I wasn't perfect when I was a child, but I always enjoyed tinkering and making money when I was little. So, hey, Dick Small Engines, welcome. Doing very well, Dick. Thank you for asking me. Let's see. I'm looking for more questions here. Whoa. Okay. Sorry, I thought I missed a lot. Let's see here. Man of Steel, David, welcome. Thank you for joining on here. Chris Garland says, do you have wholesale accounts for parts? So, Chris, I'm not a dealer. And unfortunately, I don't want to become a dealer right now. I know you can get wholesale parts for cheaper price or wholesale accounts, whatever you want to call it. But no, I unfortunately don't have any wholesale accounts. I just order basically from like Pro Parts Direct or Discount Online Parts. I try to buy bigger quantities so that way I know with Discount Online Parts, for every $100 of order or that you submit as far as one single order, you get free shipping, which is really nice. So usually if I need to stock up on spark plugs, I buy spark plugs, air filters from there, oil from there, oil filters and everything like that. Make one single order, send it in and get free shipping. So, but to answer your question, no, I do not have any wholesale accounts. Man of Steel, I appreciate your guys' questions. Thank you so much. David asks, do you give free advice over the phone? If not, what do you tell the person on the phone? Yes, I absolutely give free advice over the phone, but I try not to let the customers take advantage of that. I'm more than willing to describe to the customer what's going on, but I tell them, hey, if it's too complicated, if you don't feel comfortable, bring it into the shop. I'll do it for you. And I obviously don't do it for free, but I do give free advice over the phone. If it's something like, now I get a lot of older people calling me and saying they don't know how to start their machine. Their son-in-law gave it to them, a snowblower, and they don't know how to start it. I'd run them through the process of starting their machine. I won't actually tell them to bring it to the shop for me to show them how to start their snowblower. I just tell them over the phone, or, if someone says, hey, my machine won't start, I tell them all the time, here's the starting procedure for your machine. Check this, check that. And if everything checks out and it still won't start, bring it into the shop. I'll have to, take my time to repair it or to look into it to see what's going on with it and let you know how much the repair is going to cost. So yes, I do give free advice over the phone. I think free advice goes a long way as far as, and again, that also correlates to your customer service skills over the phone, depending on how good you can talk, depending on how good you can describe the issue over the phone. I think, again, free advice goes a long way. Let's see. Who else we got on here? Oh, Harry asked, who here is a dealer? KB says, I am a dealer for a few distributors, would personally stay away from Stens, but that is just me. Oh, JB says, my day job is at an answering service. Just decided if I want to go with that or full on-go for a business line. Cool. Okay. And let me go back up. I'm going through StreamYard. So, and it's kind of giving me a little bit of a trouble scrolling through the comments, but hey, Mick, how you doing? Thank you for jumping on here. Let's see. Rob Price. Let me throw your question up here. Hi, Phil. What do you think of using two-stroke outboard oil on power equipment? I've had good luck. It is cheaper, and I mix 40-1. Honestly, I don't believe that. I don't believe that you should, but it's up to you. If it's cheaper and if you want to save money, you can go ahead and do that. But I just recommend for what I use. I'll tell you what I use. I use steel ultra synthetic or full synthetic, the steel HB Ultra, the silver little bottles you see at any steel dealer. I use those. I mean, I use that. I run sometimes I make a 40-1, sometimes I make a 50-1, and 40-1 seems to be a little bit better, more oil rich, I guess you can say, than 50-1. But I've never had issues running 50-1 machines. I run 50-1 in my lawn care business, and me personally, I've never had any machines blow up or anything like that. So my machines have lasted quite a while, but I'm sure if I run 40-1, they'll last a lot longer. So, but yeah, personal preference right there. Let's see. So yeah, hopefully that answered that question, Rob. Yeah, Rusty Rooster says, Rob Price, I don't suggest doing that unless you're in a pinch. JB's Workshop, appreciate all your questions. He says, do you have a separate space like for records and office things, or is there an area of your workshop you dedicate that to? Yeah, so this is my office. This is where I do all of my financing, my taxes, my keep all of records of my invoicing, which actually I keep all of my records online digitally. I try not to collect a lot of paperwork unless it's something serious that I have to print out and keep for my own records. But I try to upload everything online, whether that be on a hard drive or a cloud. Try to keep everything online just because everything's going digital nowadays. So there's no point in collecting paper. All of my statements are via email, so I don't try to collect a lot of paper. But yes, this is my office. This is where I conduct 100% of my business. So this whole office space is dedicated to business. Let's see. Oh man. Okay. So hopefully that answered that question, JB. Oh, Rusty Rooster says outboard oil is engineered for water cooled, assuming engines. Okay. Gutierlo says, do you have a website? And he said, I use AMSOIL as mine. So I do have a website preference, website presence. And Gutierlo, I'm glad you asked, because the question that I had, one of my viewer submitted questions was, when and why should I create a website? So I believe not even just a website, but you should have a web presence if you're in the small engine repair industry. If you run a business or just do it as a side hobby, I believe you should have presence on the web. Some people stay away from the website and only do, what is it called? Wow. Anyways, I forgot the word that I wanted to use, but yes, I believe you should have a website. I believe you should be on Facebook. I believe you should be on Nextdoor as far as advertising your business or advertising yourself, whichever that may be, just to let people know that, hey, I'm out here. I can tune up your lawnmowers, snow blowers, anything like that, your 2 and 4 strokes. And it's very key and it's very dominant that you put your website out there or make a Google My Business account so that people may know that Gutiarlo is in business to repair small engines and he lives 2 miles down the road. So they don't have to travel, 20 miles to the nearest small engine repair shop. They can actually call you instead and give you their business. So I believe you should have a web presence, and I believe you should be online posting your business or yourself everywhere, wherever you can. So let's see. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just going through trying to find all the questions. Let's see. Oh, Cody Emmons 12 asks, I know you run mainly Milwaukee battery, but do you have any preferences for pneumatic tools? Great question. And yes, I do run mainly Milwaukee battery operated everything, whether that be tools versus or landscape equipment. I do have, Milwaukee blowers, and I'm thinking of getting the Milwaukee trimmer and trying that out this year. But as far as pneumatic tools, I have no personal preferences. If I were to choose a pneumatic tool, I'd probably go with Snap-on just because of the durability. And that would be my go-to as far as pneumatic tools. But I'll be honest with you guys, I've never owned a Snap-on pneumatic anything. But I've heard that Snap-on is just a very good branded company. And for pneumatic tools, that's what I would choose. And I understand that they are very expensive, but unfortunately, if you really need a pneumatic tool and if you use pneumatics, get a 3/8 or 1/2 inch pneumatic impact gun. You just get one of them. You don't have to get two. You don't have to get a 3/8 and a half. Just get one. You can even do like a 3/8, more compact, subcompact, or whatever you have to. Okay, sorry. So yeah, my preference for pneumatic tools would be Snap-on. That's just me. So VA1AXC says, like Rusty Rooster said, outboard oil is for water cooled. Air cooled 2 strokes run much hotter, and their mix oil is designed for high operating temps. Okay. Okay. Man of Steel asks, how many units are you averaging a month during busy season? That depends. Usually so my busy season is literally March and April. So I get a lot of lawnmowers in, a lot of leaf blowers, a lot of trimmers, a lot of chainsaws so that's March and April. And usually I'm right around, I'd say 20 machines during the month. And I know that's not a lot, but you got to remember that my small engine repair business and my lawn care business both have, operating times. So I can't take on a lot of machines when I'm busy with my lawn care business, just because I won't have enough time to, I know I wouldn't have enough time and work like a lot of overtime to finish all of the units that have come in. So, I would rather I'd rather kind of separate them and take on less machines and work and I know I can make more money in my lawn care business than my small engine repair business. But when times are slow, then I obviously market my small engine repair business, especially like right now. I know a lot of people are bringing in their snow blowers. So to answer your question, right around 20 to maybe 30 units a month in a busy season. So, okay, John Richard, I will answer your question right now. You say, how do you collect money from a customer that doesn't pay? I actually have a podcast episode. You can check that out, John. But to summarize it, I've never I've never been ghosted. That's kind of the term that we use around here when a customer doesn't pay and no call, no show, no nothing. You can't get any kind of payment from them and they owe you money and you've been ghosted technically. So I've never been ghosted in small engine business, but I have been ghosted in my lawn care business. I'll kind of tell you that. What I did was I trusted the customer prior to even thinking if they were going to pay or not. And I know that kind of makes no sense, but um, I took on their lawn for about a month and then they just canceled randomly on me. So I sent them a final bill and never heard from them again. I had their email and I had their phone, and I think they canceled their phone subscription and they also moved out. So that didn't help at all. I couldn't make any visits, right? And what happened was they probably blocked me or blocked my email, or were just not responding to any of my emails or invoices that I was uh, constantly sending them per week, right? Every week or every day or however I did it. I don't remember. This was actually like 6 or 7 or 8 months ago, probably like actually 10, no, about 8 months ago during the lawn mowing, season. And I've kind of forgot about it. It was $120 and right now I forgot about it. I mean, it would be great to get paid that much, but it was, for some people that's $1,000,000 right there. They need that $120. But to me, it was just wasting my time trying to get collect this payment. And it's just a waste of time to even maybe send that to collections. It's just going to be more of a headache to try to collect this kind of money than just, move on, forget about it, and learn your lesson. So the lesson I learned was always try to get a credit card on file. And in the small engine repair business, always get a payment prior to, or always receive a payment prior to the customer picking up their machine that's ready to go. So I always tell them, hey, I got your machine ready for you. It's ready to be delivered to your house, but I need you to pay first. So I send them a emailed invoice, they pay, and then I set up a delivery date with them. So, and also if you think like a customer is like a sketchy customer and you know for a fact that they won't pay, you can get like a deposit prior to them even, or prior to you even repairing their machine. You can get like a parts deposit of $30, $40 or however. And they can kind of maybe pay for the parts. So that way, if they do ghost you, then the parts are covered, but obviously your labor, you wouldn't be paid for your labor. But anyways, the parts are covered, so you kind of would technically be paid in a way and keep their machine. Or if they come in, then you get paid for the labor, for the rest of it. And yeah, I hope that answered the question. Sorry if I was kind of jumping up, from place to place. Oh, sorry, Gutiarlo. He says it's Guitar Low. Middle name is Arlo, and I play guitar. That makes sense. Okay, sorry. Sorry, Arlo. But I like your name. It's really unique. Steven Doolittle says Google is the new Yellow Pages. Yeah, nobody uses Yellow Pages anymore. Phone books, those are out. I mean, nobody uses those anymore. Google, people always type in small engine repair near me, and they jump on small engine repair near me, and they type that in on the search. And literally, if you're on Google My Business, or if your business is on Google My Business, and if you're near that customer, you'll more than likely be the first one on there. And usually, like, I've experienced this as well. Like, I type in fast food near me, and usually the first one that pops up is the one I would choose and go and eat there or whatever. So, yeah, Google is definitely the new Yellow Pages. Dick Small Engine says, I'm Milwaukee Power Tool personally. Good look. Let's see. DD question. Peter North here, old adult film star. Should I bore out the valves on a push lawnmower for more life? Thanks, Peter. Honestly, Peter, I do not know. I guess you could try. I've never done that personally. So if any of the mechanics on here want to chime in on this question here, Peter's question, you can do so right now. Man of Steel Dave says Snap-on is expensive. JB Workshop asks, do you insure your tools? No, I do not. I just keep everything locked. All of my tools are at home and I do not insure them. I should, because I do have a good investment into my tools and toolbox and everything like that. So I should probably look into that. But I appreciate JB. You kind of reminded me because I was thinking about that a while ago and it kind of just slipped out of my mind. But yes, I should be looking into insuring my tools for sure. Stephen Doolittle says Ingersoll Rand is the best air tools. I feel very powerful. I have used Ingersoll Rand. I do like their little 1/4 inch air impact ratchets. Oh, okay. Dick says Hilti or Snap-on are best pneumatic in my opinion in UK. Yeah, I've used Snap-on pneumatic before, but I've honestly eliminated all of my pneumatic tools working in this business. It's all battery operated now. I can take off any type of lawnmower nut on a 0 turn, but I understand where pneumatic might come into play when you're working on more heavy like diesel mechanic or whatnot. So yeah, you need a pneumatic one. Battery operated just won't cut it. So, but for small engines, for 0 turns, battery operated all the way. Terry Baker says, I run a Mac cordless and Ingersoll Rand pneumatic. Mac has a 3-year warranty and uses DeWalt batteries. Wow, I didn't know that. That's oh. Harry Small Engine says, do you have a YouTube person you go to for repair advice / videos? Yes, I do. I usually don't just because I'm kind of skilled and knowledgeable in what I do. But if I do have a question, I either Google it or I try to find a video from Donnie Boy's channel, Donnie Boy 73. If you haven't checked his channel out, go ahead and do so. But I definitely check his channel out for advice and occasionally just watch, some of his videos that I haven't seen, but I've watched a lot of Don's videos and he has helped me, especially, when I worked at a steel dealer and I was just kind of getting into how steel works and how steel chainsaws operate. I needed, advice on how to replace the certain C-clips or oil pumps and whatnot. So I checked his videos out and they definitely helped. So. Oh, okay. All right. David says, gotta hire you an apprentice. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's my business goal. So, hey, Jimmy Pop, thank you for jumping on here. VE1AXC says, what is the population in your area? Believe it or not, 240,000 people with surrounding cities, 240,000. So there's a lot of business here where I'm at, a lot of business. And that's good. The more people, the more business. Okay, David Blonsky, great question. This is one of my a podcast episode that I wanted to do on, but I haven't done it yet. Have you seen any drop off in equipment repair due to all the cordless battery equipment that's rolling out on the market? And I'll say no. I have not seen any, decrease in equipment repairs with all this battery operated stuff going on. And if you think about it, I don't think battery operated anything will drive small engine mechanics out of business because there's always going to be chains to sharpen, blades to sharpen, everything like that, right? I'm sure people like DIYers or whoever's going into, using battery operated products, they don't necessarily know how to do the sharpening themselves. So you'll always have something to do on any type of equipment if you think about it. And you can make up your own prices. If truly battery operated equipment is going to take over, and a lot of people might even, you might seeing a decrease in gas powered products, but you might see an increase in battery operated equipment coming into your shop to get tuned up. I mean, there's not much to tune up an electric engine or batteries or chargers, but they still need service, right? You'll still need the batteries, or I'm sorry, you'll still need, the blades sharpened and the chainsaw chain sharpened as well. And if you think about it, I think gas will always be around. It will never be taken away out of production or commission or whatever you want to say. So, yep. Here's a question. Fix the snowblower. Can you show the customer? Wait, I'm sorry, Alan. I don't understand this question. Here's a question for you. Fix the snowblower. Can show the customer. Can you retype that, Alan? I'm sorry. I have a hard time with that. I don't know if that's a question or Rob Price. Man, I enjoy all these questions, guys. Thank you so much. This is probably the most amount of questions that I've done in a long time. And sorry if I've missed you. If I've missed a question, go ahead and put it in the comments down below. So I'll also throw the Facebook group link out there. So if you want to join the Facebook group, we constantly post photos. We help each other out on there, answer questions, everything like that. So you can join the Facebook group if you haven't already, and go ahead and do so if you'd like. If you have Facebook, that is. Rob Price, how do you deal with people with snowblowers that need repair towards the end of the season? And do you worry they are going to leave the machine at your place all through the summer? I have thought about that, Rob, but I've never dealt with that. And again, that goes into kind of the you feel like you've been ghosted type of deal. That's a great question. I always repair anything that comes into the shop within a certain amount of time. And there is not a machine that becomes priority in any of the season. It all depends on when the customer dropped it off. So even if it's a lawnmower during April, during the actual grass cutting season, if a snowblower comes before that, I'll fix the snowblower. I put customers first rather than machine first. So I don't have my priorities, or I don't have my favorites or anything like that. I just fix whatever comes in the matter of time that it comes in. And I do worry sometimes that, machines are left here and I feel like it's a storage unit, but honestly, I tell them, hey, I charge a storage fee. And if you don't pick up your machine within 30 days, you start accumulating a $10 storage fee every day. And they're like, whoa, I definitely will pick up my machine. I don't want it, sitting around and collecting all of this storage fees every day. So yeah, I don't try to scare them with that, but I just apply it before they even drop off the machine. So especially during that time. Yeah, again, if it doesn't snow and they bring in their snowblower to get it serviced or summarized, as you can say, for the season, then yeah, just inform them of your storage fee if you have one, if you don't incorporate one. Let's see. So William I asks, how much does a website cost? Depends. I'll share you my numbers. I made a website. I used a template from Wix.com, and they charged me about $220 a year to host my website and for the domain and everything like that. So about $220, $250 for me personally every year. I have seen some websites where they charge $300 a month to have a web presence, but they build your website for you and do all the SEO and hosting and domains and everything like that. And they do your website and update your website. So you can have people run your website if you'd like, but I run my own website. I do all of my own custom work on there. But I did start off with a template, and I do unfortunately pay every year for it. So I know there's cheaper options, cheaper alternatives, but that's just what works for me. And I know I might be, like paying way too much, but that's just me, that's just what I chose and that works for me. So, VA1AXC says, do very little credit. Too much affects your cash flow. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. Okay. Alan Aguilar. Sorry if I said that wrong. Says, here's a question. You fix a snowblower, works good. Client comes and you're ready to demo it and pull the rope breaks, and client puts blame on you. You inspect the rope. It's old. It's also to come see engine. Okay. Well, It's your responsibility to make sure that everything works before the customer shows up. And I have had machines, Alan, where they wouldn't start when the customer came and picked them up. I had them running literally 10 minutes or 20 minutes or yesterday, and they come and the machine obviously won't start in front of them. That's so embarrassing. And I just tell the clients, I'm so sorry for even making you come here. I'm not sure why this machine, I sometimes will fix it real quick on spot or something. Or if it's just a rope break, I always have rope in stock. So I change it out real quick. Usually changing out a Tecumseh engine starter rope is really easy. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And you can do it on spot. Rope brakes are really easy to replace. Now, when it comes down to it won't start in front of the customer and the customer comes to your house to pick up the machine, that's a whole nother story. I usually tell the customer, hey, if you have to go, I understand, but if you give me 20, 30 minutes, I can probably figure out why your machine's not running. And that usually is take off the carburetor real fast, clean it again, put it back together, test it, and make sure it runs. But sometimes, I don't know how, but sometimes sediment gets back into the carburetor and just clogs the main jet again. You never know what could happen when you clean carburetors. Now, if it's a new carburetor, then it's a different story. But I've had that situation, yes, where customers come to pick up the machine and of course it just doesn't start. So embarrassing, but we got to do what we got to do. Jimmy Pop says, Cody, dealing with people just takes time, and the more time, it gets easier. Yes, I agree, Jimmy. And your customer service skills definitely improve over time, over years. You just know how to talk to the client. You have start building this personal relationship with your clientele and know how to talk to them and understand their needs for small engine repair. Let's see. Okay, I'm going up. There's a lot that I missed. Sorry, guys. There's so many questions coming in. Okay, here I'm coming down. Double Wide 6 Repairs says, your insurance for your home covers your tools. Unfortunately, rent, and I do not have renter's insurance, which I should get, but I do not own a home. So unfortunately, that doesn't apply to me, Bob, but I appreciate your, for the people that do have home insurance, there you go. You learned something new. Let's see. Matt Small Engine says, what is the best and safest way to remove a lawnmower zero-turn blade? First of all, Matt, take the key out or take the spark plug boot off. And there you go. There's your safest way to remove a blade. Then how to actually remove the nut is up to you. But I would definitely use a 1/2 inch, either pneumatic or battery operated impact gun with a impact socket. And make sure you do have safety glasses on and maybe some jack stands, not Harbor Freight, but good jack stands underneath your zero turn or riding mower, however you're removing those blades. So if it's just a push mower, you can usually take the mower and lean it against something else, or prompt the handle down so it actually stays into place, or just lift the mower, take your impact gun and remove the nut. But yeah, impact. If you're using the impact, definitely use impact grade sockets, and be sure to wear some safety glasses when you do so. Brandon Swenson asked, do you have a 1/2 inch battery operated impact gun or just the 3/8? I have a 1/2 inch Campbell Hosfeld impact, or pneumatic impact, which I never use. It just sits there and collects dust in my toolbox. But I do have a 3/8 stubby and a 3/8 regular battery operated Milwaukee M18 impact gun. So I have 2 3/8. I did have a 1/2 inch 276220. I believe that's the model for that impact gun. It was like the 1,500 pound nut busting torque one that they sell at Home Depot or Milwaukee sells. But yeah, I do enjoy those. Sorry guys, these questions are very old. This question, Brandon, this question was submitted at 4:37 p.m. and it's 4:50 right now. As you guys can see, there's so many people in the chat and so many questions going on. So unfortunately, I'm sorry that I'm getting to these. I'm trying to get all of your questions answered as much as I can. So, wow. JB says I had $1,200 worth of tools stolen recently. Renter insurance wouldn't cover what was in a storage closet on my deck. Said they don't cover outside storage. Highly recommend getting insurance. That is unfortunate, JB. I'm very sorry. I hope whoever stole your tools, I'll check with local pawn shops. Maybe you can do something with them. But yeah, dude, I had speaker boxes stolen out of my car. I kind of understand how that is, getting things stolen. It's never too good, never good at all. Oh, Matt, sorry, you have another same question there. I answered it. Going through the questions. Okay. Yeah, electronic equipment, Steven says, will never be as powerful, so gas will always be around. Oh, Matt's Small Engine asks another question about removing blades. When you remove a lawnmower zero turn blade, do you strap it down so it can't spin or just hold it? Matt's, I usually use a very thick glove and try to hold the blade while I do it. And sometimes you don't even have to hold the blade. A powerful impact will remove the nut without actually spinning the blade. But if it's really tight on there, you can take a big piece of 2x4 block and smash it into the, well, it depends on how your mower is set up. If it's a push mower, you can get it through the chute where it enters into the bag. Get a 2x4 on there so the blade doesn't actually spin all the way, and then use an impact gun to remove it, or you can even hand remove it with a ratchet. I've used that. I've done that before, but I definitely invest into an impact gun. That'll save you a lot of time when removing lawnmower blades. Okay, let's see. William I asks, if a repair comes in, you have to order an expensive part. Do you have the customer pay up front before ordering the part? No, but I wait. Let me say that if a repair comes in and you have to order an expensive part, do you have the customer pay up front? Yes. Sorry, William. I do ask for a down payment for any expensive parts. If it's like a spark plug, air filter, oil filter, or a Chinese aftermarket carburetor, I will have the customer pay up front. If it's an OEM carburetor, I usually order it using my business credit card. And if they don't pay, if they ghost me, I just take it off, clean it as best I can, and put it away for stock. If it's a part that I know for a fact, if I get ghosted, won't sell for years, then yes. And if it's really expensive, I have the customer pay for it up front. Yes. So let's see. Yeah, Brandon, I see your question there again. I think I've already answered that. Man of Steel David says, have you had anyone steal a customer's equipment? Nope. I've never had that happen, and hopefully will never happen to me. Okay. I appreciate Max's Small Engines. We will, if you have requested to join the Facebook group, which I have a link somewhere over there, we will be either me or one of my moderators currently can go on there and accept you guys. But if not, then I will, after this live stream ends, go on there and just accept everybody that's on here. So, can you share your channel link on your Facebook? Talk to me, Max, about that. I'll let you know if you can or not. Would you recommend a brand or impact wrench? Would you recommend what brand would you recommend for impact wrench? I'd probably recommend Milwaukee for any battery operated impact wrenches. Let's see. Okay. Kind of getting to the bottom, hopefully to the bottom of these questions. Hey, Edward Burke, thank you for joining on here. I know last time you were late. So I'm glad that we're doing questions right now, and then we'll throw the link up there, and I'll have some people join on, and we can do kind of a chat based. No, Terry, this is a good question. What's your opinion on manufacturer certification? Does it help you gain business? No, it does not. Let's be real. It does not. You can say you have experience and people could care less. They just want their equipment repaired. You're not going to be showing off all of your certifications, telling people I'm certified in this. All they want is their mower fixed, man. So you need to understand that maybe they'll work if you want to get a job, but it won't help you gain business unless a specific industry or commercial client wants you to be certified in a specific with a specific company, then yes, it'll come into play. And if you become a dealer and that manufacturer wants you to do warranty work, then yes, you have to get manufacturer certifications and be a dealer in order to do warranty work. So, but in reality, for residential clientele, for your potential prospects that, your neighbors that live around you, not at all. It won't help you gain business. That's just my opinion. So, wow. David says we had someone steal a log splitter from behind the store. Yeah. When I used to work at Ace, people would steal equipment all the time. I mean, not all the time, but once or twice a year, a item would be stolen from the steel rack somehow. I'm not too sure, but we have a poor camera system. We had a poor camera system in that hardware store, and unfortunately, we couldn't track down. But we sometimes have caught people trying to steal equipment, and we just take the equipment back and tell them to never come again. So our boss took things very loosely when it came down to people stealing. He would just tell them to let them go, and he didn't want to deal with all that stuff. So he wasn't the type of guy that would call the police. He would be the guy that would release. Going down. I think that's it. Well, we finally caught up to all the questions. It's been about almost an hour. I still would like you guys to ask questions, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the invite link. So if anybody wants to jump on to the stream, you can do so by following the link. It'll prompt you to a safe and secure little basement, we call it. And if you want to jump on here, talk, maybe you want to discuss the question with me personally, you can do so by following that link. We'll get you up on the panel. And you can introduce yourself. You can tell us how long you've been in business, or if you're just a DIY hobbyist, and kind of, we'll go from there. So to anybody that wants to join, I will pin this link up here. So if you're watching right now and want to get on the panel with me, we're kind of transitioning into more of a chat now. I know that we spent, again, this first hour basically was all questions. So I try to pump out as many questions for you guys. And again, I'm sorry if I missed one of your questions, but you can definitely leave it in the chat. And I do not see. Okay, we only have one viewing on Facebook, and we got 35 people viewing on YouTube. We got 28 likes. If you guys hit that like button, we would really appreciate it. It would support us big time for the YouTube algorithm. Go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to do that before you leave. And just to show us some support when you leave. So, but okay. Oh, okay. Alan Aguilar says, "Thanks for sharing your knowledge slash experience. What do you do when you repair an equipment, but customer doesn't pick up their equipment that same week? You need that money for the parts mainly." Alan, that's a good one. If the customer can't pick up that same week and you need that money, you need to go find that money somewhere else, because you can't really suck that money out of the customer and make them pay, right? So that's why I always highly recommend open up a business line of credit. That credit card is there for a reason. I wouldn't use it for everything, but I'd use it in a instance like this where you don't have any cash or money of your own. to buy parts for another customer. So that's where a business credit card can come in handy. You can use it, and again, it would kind of save you time instead of actually kind of trying to push that customer to, hey, hurry up, give me a payment, I need money. It'll kind of make you look more unprofessional if you try to do it that way. So in this case, yes, I'd probably try to even maybe I don't recommend this, but maybe you could even use a personal credit card if you have to. I don't know your financial status, Alan, but I'd highly recommend you open up a business line of credit at least, to kind of cover yourself in this kind of situation. Harry asks, Phil, do you ever work on EFI engines yet? If so, own any diagnostic equipment? No, I do not, Harry. I do not work on EFI. I've never really dealt with any EFI engines, so I'm not experienced in those engines yet, but you never know what can come in the future. So yeah, how have you guys been? I have been doing good today. Yesterday we picked up 3 pieces of equipment. We got a John Deere, I think it was a X330, I believe. It was an X330 that I picked up. John Deere riding mower. It's got a John Deere Briggs & Stratton 22 horse twin on it, or 24 horse, one of those two. But then she also gave me a Honda HRX to repair and an MTD, or no, Troy built 24-inch snowblower, all for repair, all from the same client. Very happy, good money, good business right there. What Matt Smallingen asks, what online site is the best for finding good deals for tools? Well, it depends. I always try to get my tools locally from Home Depot, but I sometimes take Amazon prices over Home Depot prices and kind of compare them and see which one's cheaper. But if I need a tool right away, I just go to Home Depot. If I need an impact wrench, I go to Home Depot and buy one. If I need a pneumatic grease gun, I go to Home Depot and buy one. If I don't really need one, then I kind of go price shopping and see who's cheaper. Have a good night, Gravely Man. Thank you for joining on, and thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate that. Arlo asks, do you take credit cards for repairs? Yes, I do. I do accept credit cards. I do have the Square app, so I do accept credit cards. And also people can pay online. If I do end up sending them an invoice to their emails, they can pay online there. So again, if you guys want to jump on here, go ahead and click that link. So if you want to get on here, and I believe that I have everything activated, so we can definitely get someone on the panel on here instead of me just talking and blabbering. But we can definitely sit down and chat about business, about repairs, or whatever you feel like talking about. Brandon, how you doing? Well, hey, no worries, man. We'll catch you next time. Thank you for joining. Yeah, Jimmy Pop makes a good point. He says, Jimmy Pop says, thanks for the podcast. I listen to them while at work. Good content. Thank you. Hey, Gun Safety Man, can you show yourself? I see you in the basement, but all I see is the ceiling. All right, we'll get you on here.
Yeah, I'm not in the basement. I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, you're in the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah,
how you doing?
You gotta excuse my cooking, but that time of night.
Worries. Yeah. Cool. Well, what you cooking, Steven?
I am cooking some pasta and some pork chops and applesauce.
Man. So what time is it over there? Are you 7 o'clock or what?
I am in New York, and it's at 8 o'clock.
Oh, 8. Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. Getting dinner. Yeah. Getting dinner a little early.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nah.
But I'm more of a DIY person, but like I was trying to say in the chat there, that I always take deposits on any work I do. I kind of know like especially for like a diagnosis, you know, kind of how long it's going to take to diagnose something roughly. So you always take
Right.
some sort of deposit. So you know you'll never get really hit that hard.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's also good, yeah, like you said, to collect that diagnostic fee because you never know. Your repairs aren't free. Your time isn't free, and if a customer really wants to know what's going on with their machine, then they're going to have to pay the mechanic for it. All right, they're going to have
Correct.
to pay the answer. Yeah,
Correct. And then you could always use that towards like the small amount of parts you might have to buy, you know, before they come back and pay for the machine, but you already have the machine. Obviously, you don't release the machine until you get paid.
exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Cliff W says, "Hey, Phil, I don't know if anyone has asked this, but what do you do? What do you give for warranty on your repairs?" I usually give a 30-day warranty. That's for basically generally any repair that I do. So 30 days right around there, Cliff, for basically anything. But some people do no repair. They feel like they're not liable. They feel like it's always the customer's fault if they come back or whatnot. But I've heard of mixed opinions on that. It all depends on you kind of make your own warranty. Your warranty can be 15 days, 30 days, 60 days on your repairs. It's just it's your business, and nobody should tell you how long your warranty should be. But my warranty is about 30 days for any of my repairs. So
Probably also depends on case by case basis too, right? Depending on what you're fixing. I mean, if you're fixing like a machine where you replace a carburetor, that job's not really that hard. So you probably do the warranty on the labor, not the part. Because if the part goes bad, then that's not your fault either, right?
right, yeah, exactly, yeah. So sometimes your labor is not covered, and especially if you're replacing aftermarket parts, there's really no guarantee. You got to inform the customer prior to installing those parts.
Correct. Do you personally deal with customers buying their own parts or no?
No. So I'm full on. I full on buy all the parts. I made a podcast episode on that. And welcome, Terry. Thank you for joining on here. How you doing?
How's it going, man?
How you doing, Terry?
Not too bad.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, thanks. Good evening.
But yeah, Steven, I usually buy.
You guys for a while. I've been listening to you guys for a little while. I mostly work for equipment rental companies, so I'm certified so far. One manufacturer, do everything from small handhelds to I do full-on excavators. Mostly do a lot of small tool type stuff, ride on equipment, walk behind. A lot of Honda powered equipment, Kawasaki, some small diesel, Toro stuff. Then we go into large stuff such as man lifts, Deutz and diesels and stuff like that.
So you work for somebody or you work for yourself?
Yeah, I work for somebody. I work for an equipment rental company.
Oh, like a grand rental.
Yeah, I'm Sunbelt Rentals, which is number 2, number 3 in the company, something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we got one of those in our city. We got a few of those in our city. A lot of landscapers trash those equipment, right? That's why you guys charge a cleaning fee.
Well, like you will not believe.
Yeah.
Because
Like
you want to watch, it's not theirs. So that's like somebody that rents an enterprise car. They trash them, not their own.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about steel saws. I get steel saws coming in all the time that the customers have decided to straight gas the cylinders, and I got right now. I'm dealing with a brand new Husqvarna 455 Rancher that the customer straight gassed it, and I did the cylinder replacement, but I'm waiting on a carburetor and it's back ordered.
A lot of landscapers trash those equipment, right?
Hey, Jungle Bob, I think we're getting double audio from you.
Oh,
Like you will not believe. Like you.
Sorry, let me clarify. Hey, Bob, we're getting double audio from you. I have you muted right now. If you click the link to the YouTube chat and not pause the audio, but turn the audio down or mute it, then we can unmute you because we're getting kind of double feedback right now from you. So Terry, did you guys end up charging the client or what? Do you guys charge the client?
Yeah, if we can, if it's not a cash sale and they can get the guy's credit card, we'll definitely go back and like on the 455 Rancher, we went and had charged him for it. I still waiting on parts on my. I did 2 TS 420 steels. We built both of them. And another client came in, straight gassed them, and it's up to my branch manager if they decide to want to actually rebuild it one more time or trash it and replace it. And lately we've been having trouble getting steel equipment, so we're going all Husqvarna.
Yeah. So what's the trouble with getting steel equipment? Is just your dealers can't supply you with them or what?
No, we get factory direct. And from when I was talking to Steel Tech Support, gosh, must have been a month ago or so, they're shorthanded.
I understand that.
we get a parts factory direct.
Oh, okay. All right, Jungle Bob, let's try again here.
Except for some small consumables I get from Stens.
Okay.
You do a side business as well, Terry, or just work for somebody?
Right now, I do. Haven't done anything too much on the side. I do. Believe it or not, I work on the side for a bicycle factory too. So we make industrial bicycles that you can like put a
Get you some order.
Toolbox on. They drive them through factories. We do it for like TWA and Chevy, Ford. You know, all your big major manufacturing companies and whatnot.
Right.
Procter & Gamble.
Well, hey, if you have
I try
mechanical
to
background,
I can.
you only have to do one thing.
Bicycles are fun to work on, but they're not profitable. Equipment's profitable.
Sure.
Yeah. How you doing, William? How you doing, Bob?
Doing well, Phil.
Good. Welcome in. We appreciate you guys jumping on here. Bob, you hit 100,000 subscribers, man. That's unbelievable. How long did it take you to do that? 11 years or what?
Something like that. I started in 2012. So I don't know. I put up a few videos just for the heck of it for maybe like 3 years. And then I started to get more into the small engine thing and repair videos. So
wow, man.
Takes a while. But
all right, so I'm going to jump off real fast. Finish cooking and I'll get back to you guys.
Okay.
Nice chatting with you guys.
Yeah, definitely, Steven. Take care.
All right.
yeah, anyhow, Phil, I was listening to the podcast. Real good. You have great content. You know, I don't know. I really like your show. So,
Thank you.
Pretty cool. So, do you normally do like the podcast, and then you have people jump on later? Or is that the way you run it?
So here's how I do it. What I do is I record a video version first before I release it.
I was listening
to the David, you got double audio.
You have great content, you know.
You.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, Bob, what I do is I record the video first, right? And I got the video version on my phone. And what I do with that video version is I download it. I always type it on Google YouTube to MP3 or MP4, and I download it as an MP3 file. So when I create the podcast, I try to do more talking than kind of visually showing you how to do things. But on some of my episodes that I have coming on, I tell my people that are listening via podcasts, I stream kind of in any platform that I can get onto, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatnot. And I tell them, if it's something visually that they need to see, I tell them, hey, you should see the video version of this podcast, which I'll have uploaded onto YouTube. So you guys right now see all of the video versions, but the audio versions are exactly the same thing. It's just you listening with your, obviously with your ears instead of actually seeing me talk. So same thing though.
Right. Yeah. Just,
Yep.
I got to tell you, you really have good content, because I remember starting out my business, there are a lot of things that, I kind of had to figure out on my own, everything from business cards, where to get parts, how to get customers ghosting you, all that good stuff. Do I do QuickBooks or not? And, should I pick up equipment? If so, what do I charge? So, over the years, I've been able to figure out all that stuff on my own. But what's really nice is, for the new guys in the business, you're just doing a real nice favor for them. And, it's cool because you have other guys chiming in, answering questions, and, it's just a lot of really good information that's not really covered anywhere. So
Yeah, exactly. You more than likely won't find any of those answers if you type it in on Google. There's hardly any information on how to start a small engine repair business.
Oh yeah.
And also people always have questions on, sometimes people do this as a hobby versus, actually wanting to, establish their company with the state and everything like that, and do it legally. Rob, we're getting double feedback, double audio feed.
I think it's Jungle Bob Repair. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, I muted you right now, but again, we're still getting that feedback from you for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with it.
Who was it? Bob?
Jungle
yeah.
Bob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jungle Bob.
How's it going, Double Wide?
It's going well.
Good.
Who am I talking to? William.
William.
How you doing, William? William's my biggest fan. He's always questions, commenting, all that good stuff.
Uh-oh,
Yeah,
give me a second.
I'm probably your biggest fan, probably.
Okay.
I enjoy your channel. Thanks for everything.
Yep.
I can say
You're welcome.
There's so many big channels out there with so much information. I was looking through Donnie Boy's oldest videos and have found information useful into today's repairs. He's had chainsaws on there that are, or videos on there that are like 12 years old that are still useful to this day.
Yeah.
It's just impressive how far ways we can look back and use information and use it to this day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I enjoyed Bob and Don and Steve and all the other guys that have posted for a very long time. I'm thankful that you guys did that, because it helps us as mechanics figure out how to repair those machines. So
Yeah, even your own videos are a great reference and library for yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll go back and look at a video I made like 6 years ago because I'm dealing with the same issue. So, it's nice. It's like an archived library.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've always every time there was a hard repair, I always kind of wanted to record it or take pictures of it, so I know the next time it comes in, I know how to do it. And sometimes that's why I make these videos, or repair videos, that is, so I know for a fact that, hey, this is how it's done, this is how it should be done, instead of being stumped again.
Yeah.
But yeah, for visual preference, I definitely agree with, making videos, recording them, and keeping them to yourself or posting them for other people to know how to repair. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I was watching Steve's channel, Steve from Canada there, the saloon, and he was saying, he had Donnie on there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Donnie was live on his channel, which was nice because Donnie Boy hasn't, done any live stuff. So that was pretty cool to see. And Steve got to asking Donnie about how he started and got into YouTube, and Donnie, he was probably about the first small engine mechanic, that really had an established channel that had repeated videos on working on lawnmowers and tractors. And he did say to Steve that, a lot of small engine mechanics were giving him kind of grief for, showing everyone in the world how to fix their mower. Like, back in the day, this was 12 years ago, these guys are thinking, well, I'm going to be losing business now if this guy's showing everyone how to do everything. But, it's not the case. It's probably grown his business. And that's what I see. I get people that find me online and, don't live too far away, actually.
Really? You get people that, like neighbors that watch your videos?
Yeah, actually, an interesting story. I was mowing my lawn, and I have a new neighbor next to me, moved in about a year ago, and I'm out there going across the lawn. He comes running up, and he's going like this, and he's like, "Hey, I need double wide, I need you." And as I turned off my mower, it's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Yeah, so I got a broken garage door, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, and I find this video on YouTube. My wife says, 'Doesn't that sound like Bob?' And he's like, 'Yeah, come to think of it does.' And then he said, he panned the camera over. I saw the neighbor's house, and he's like, what are the odds that you're watching YouTube trying to fix your garage door, and the guy on YouTube is your next door neighbor?" He's like, "It's got to be like 1,000,000,000 to 1."
Right.
So, yeah, it's surprising, man. I have a lot of people that I don't even tell people that I work with that I have a YouTube channel, but other teachers that I'm with have come up to me and they're like, "Dude, I saw you on YouTube." But I don't just have lawnmower videos. I got videos on everything. So
that's a good thing you said that, because Harry's right here says, double wide, I like your unconventional repairs like welding, metal scrap to snowblower shafts, fix broken eclipse grooves.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Harry.
How you doing, Matt?
Hello. How are you?
Good.
No problem.
You been working on engines lately?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Have you found
Hopefully,
any have you found
not
any
yet.
junk mowers? Remember last time we were talking about it? Finding
Yeah,
some
not
junk mowers
not
or
quite
something?
yet, but I'm looking.
Yeah. Well, good. Make sure to be on Craigslist next door for free machines, or Facebook Marketplace. People are always posting free machines on there, and it's first come, first serve. So you gotta get on there quick, especially in a crowded city where we live. We live in a population of 240,000 people. So there's a lot of mechanics out here that like to get free machines and flip them. So.
I'm a little different story. I don't live in a city, so I got less population.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. David, I heard that you hit 100 subscribers. Is that what I see?
Yep.
Man, congratulations. That's great.
Yep. Actually, when I checked earlier, it was like 105 or 106.
Man, it's taking
That's
off.
100.
Just today. This happened all today. When I woke up this morning, I had 98 this morning when I woke up. And I saw your thing earlier, and after I saw that, it went up.
I'm always glad to help, man.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man.
In this community, we should all be trying to help each other, in any way possible, whether that be repair or helping each other grow, and in whatever way. I mean, everybody basically can contact me, whether that be leaving a comment on my channel or on my videos, or emailing me. I get a lot of people email me asking me questions, so it's bad to ignore, but it's definitely good to help out. And I think helping goes a long way, especially, so people appreciate that.
So, David, you figure out what you're going to do with that Craftsman tractor in the back of your truck?
Yeah, I think I have.
Does it have a
I think
deck
I'm
on it? I wasn't sure if it had a deck because that might have been why you didn't want to repair it possibly. Or
Yeah, I got to track down the wiring harness before I can really actually do anything. And I'll either probably change the motor or rebuild that motor.
oh wow,
Yeah, so that's probably later on this spring. So
So what's
Okay.
wrong with the electrical wiring?
it's got some burn spots in it where it's melted and stuff where he fried it, and it's I don't want to slice and dice and make it unsafe. So
Right.
I want to get a whole new wiring harness for it, so it don't short out anything. So
hey guys, I found a good channel. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the guy's relatively new. I think it's called Watch Wes Work. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen his channel, but David has me thinking. This guy does a lot of. He repairs mostly cars and stuff and tractors. He has a lot of like. He'll go find a. You know, it could be like an excavator that's been sitting in a field for 25 years, and he'll try and start it or unlock the engine or unseize it, whatever. But he really gets into some big equipment. And anyhow, David, you had me thinking because he does a lot of electrical work, and he's pretty good with wiring, soldering, and splicing things and all that.
Yeah.
And his filming is excellent. So, any of you guys watch him?
No, I've never. I've
So that's
never heard of that.
Watch Wes Work.
Okay.
Does he do just small engines or big
No,
equipment?
he's a mechanic. He lives in Iowa, I believe, and he has a large shop, and he works on like industrial farm equipment and like tractor trailers, like big trucks and things like that. But he's a real down to earth guy. I don't know do you guys watch the South Main Auto channel?
Yeah, I do.
He's a lot
Erico?
like that channel. Eric, yeah, that's he's a so
I'm just gonna point the little thing right here.
Yeah, I've seen Erico repair a snowblower. When he released that video, I'm like, Eric, you don't work on snowblowers. Come on, man. Get a Honda Civic and start changing the oil on it. Actually, Erico does a lot of. He's a very good electrician.
he sure is.
No joke. Oh my! I've seen that guy literally take out, untape all of these wires and literally test every single wire and find out which one's short and find the short. And I hate electrical. If you guys don't know already, I hate working on electrical.
Yeah, electrical is kind of my hardest thing for me to figure out. But I've been doing a lot of research on it and trying to learn more. And there is a lot of information out there. If you're not familiar, there's a guy out there making videos on how to read wiring diagrams and that. And I think his channel something like Joe's Automotive or Joe's Schematics, electrical schematics. He doesn't have a big channel just because it seems like it's a very precise topic, just being on electrical. But man, I learned a lot from this guy. He's a master mechanic, and when you know how to read the wiring diagrams and you kind of lay out the whole circuit, you can pinpoint where your problem is in the circuit. So it's good information to know because I'm trying to troubleshoot these tractors, and you want to be able to do this stuff fast and efficiently, like Eric over there at South Main Auto. He's really good at it. So
I found a good channel on electrical. Have you ever heard of Schrodinger's box? Have you ever heard of it?
Say it again, William. What's the channel?
It's called SCHROD Schrodinger's box.
No, I haven't.
Schroeder's box.
He had a little series on electrical. That was a great series. I learned about relays and like in the car, and all kinds of stuff. But check him out. SCHRODENGERS Schrodinger's, if I'm saying it right, box.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like a mechanic too. I mean, he tells about relays. What? Yeah.
How you doing, Brandon?
Doing pretty good.
Hey, what you been working on, man?
Hey, Brandon.
I've been mostly working on, those projects, those go-karts and stuff, but I did get a first repair in for the first one in a month's time, which is a welder, so repairs are going to start coming back in soon.
Yeah.
A gas welder, or
season's
is it an electrical problem, Brandon?
It is actually a diesel welder, which I never worked on before, and I never heard of this brand. It's a Chinese brand called H-Power.
Never heard of that brand.
So, yeah, I never heard of it either. So, it's a wiring issue with the starting circuit. So, I'm going to go with the knowledge I already know about tracing it, and hopefully it ain't nothing too funky, because sometimes that Chinese stuff, it's hard to find a wiring diagram on.
Sure. That's another one that Watch West work. He has one video where he fixes 3 welders that all have electrical problems. And it's like incredible how he, goes through with these circuit boards, and I don't know how he knows so much.
Man. Yeah, I got to sit down and learn my electrical too. But I basically know how to diagnose, starter, key switch, starter solenoid, and the actual motor and all the components. But when it comes down to pinpointing a loose wire or finding out where there's a short in a wire, then it's just like my brain kind of gets fried, and I sometimes don't know what I'm doing. So
I think it happens to most of us. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like a draw of luck that you finally find the wire that's shorting out.
Mom, I'm not turning it on for me.
Uh-oh.
Whose is that from?
What made
Brandon. Okay. Jungle Bob.
Hey.
We keep losing you, Jungle Bob. What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I had to go to my camera. I can't figure it out on my laptop. That laptop, every time I turn it on, it gives that reverb to figure out how to make it stop. So.
Oh. Yeah, we were getting double audio from you every time you were on your laptop.
Maybe y'all know how.
But I think you had 2 tabs open, and if you mute the YouTube stream tab, then we won't get double audio from you. So. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Because maybe my StreamYard opened up with YouTube at the same time, and that's it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So have you?
I'm not going to interrupt your video anymore today. I'll try later. I'll practice another day.
No worries. Not interrupting at all, man. Have you guys ever worked on something? You start working on it, and then you figure out that you just can't fix it.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in that situation where you have to call the customer and say, "Hey, I honestly have no idea how to repair this machine."
Yeah.
Have you ever been in that situation?
Been there.
We all hate to admit it, but I think we all at one point have came across something that we just couldn't fix. We all hate to admit it, but it happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that too. I've took on something that was very, kind of overconfident, and I guess I was wanting work, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I don't remember what it was. I think it was just something real basic on a machine. I think it was on a riding mower, but I couldn't figure it out. And that call that you make to the customers is so stress-inducing, because it's like, what are they going to say? Are they going to leave a bad review? Or are they going to just tell me, you don't know what, do you even charge them or what, because no one's going to pay you for something that you didn't repair, unless it's like a diagnosis or diagnostic and you charge them a diagnostic fee. But
I had a guy, I was working on he had a really nice zero turn, this Bobcat. It was newer, and it had a brand new Kawasaki on it. Thing's only about 2 years old. And, you know, the problem with this was his buddy was working on it, and they took apart the governor, and, you know, I'm telling you, they had like one of the linkages backwards or something. I couldn't figure it out. I'm trying to set the governor, and I couldn't set it right. Couldn't set it. Tried it like 3 times. I did a lot of research on the engine. You know, I read that, you know, sometimes the intake manifold will suck in a intake gasket and cause it to run the way it was running. So anyhow, you know, I spent like 2 hours screwing around with this thing, and I couldn't figure it out. So I told the guy, you know, I just called him up and I said, you know, I tried to adjust it, it's still not running right. And, you know, the main thing that you want to do is just, you know, recommend someone that you think can fix it.
Guys.
All right, sounds good, man.
So yeah, I sent him over to a dealer that I work with, and they got it squared away. But yeah, sometimes it happens, and I did charge him a little bit. I think I charged him like $50 just for my time. Yeah, he wanted to pay me, so I don't know. I spent definitely more than an hour or 2 in there screwing around with it.
Right. Because you had to do your research first, and then you also had to try to fix it.
Yeah, well, I tried to fix it, and, you know, it wasn't running right. And then I was like, you know what? Something doesn't seem right. I don't, you know, I never really figured out what was wrong with it either. You know, I don't know what the deal was. But I was looking online at all the, like, linkages and that, and everything looked correct to me from what I could see.
Yeah.
It happens. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's life. You know, you can't fix everything.
One more
Should
thing,
always
guys.
have-
I was going to show y'all.
Go ahead.
I was trying to show y'all earlier when the guy was talking about spark testers. You know, I got this old one that my brother had left me. I don't know if you can see it. The old Briggs. You know, the old timey spark testers. This is the reliablest thing I know. And I take an alligator clip and, you know, put on one end of it to give me a good ground if it, you know, can't put it down. But that's the old. That I know he had it since he was, you know, real old. I mean, it's not the new ones like you can just buy online. You can still buy the style online, I think. But this is actually the real McCoy.
Yeah.
That's the one
got
that
the Echo
shows
one.
the spark, right?
Yeah, I think it's the Briggs and Stratton original part number. I don't know what the part number would be, but
there's.
How you doing, Mick?
How you doing, buddy?
You working hard or
There's
hardly
trouble.
working?
Oh, there we go. That was a close call. Mick was in here.
Lost connection. I don't know. I did not kick him out, I promise. I did not kick him out. Even though he kicks people out, puts them in basements. But, hey, Jungle Bob, that one showed spark, right?
yeah, this is it's a spark tester. You know, it's got the
one Carol's
you can
got.
adjust it in the middle. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like one that showed on one of his. Exactly. Yeah. So you just plug the you know, the boot on one of these points, whichever, and then you ground it with this side. But like I said, sometimes you have to run an alligator clip, you know, because you can't, you know, get on it. You know, you have to find a good ground. But yeah, it never fails. It always works.
Yeah, I have the Echo one. I like it, but sometimes the wire that connects can come loose pretty easily. There's Nick. Are you in the train?
Yeah. Looks like he's in his office.
Mick, can you hear
in
us?
the van on the way home.
Oh, boy.
I think he said he's in the van on his way home.
I don't do a full work.
Must be too cold to work again.
Yep, can you hear me?
He's froze up.
Oh, Oh man, you have the worst internet connection out of all of us right now, Mick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave him here until he.
What's up, Steven?
Brandon, why not?
Hey, double wide. William I in the chat asked, what was that name of the channel you recommended us to watch?
Watch Wes work.
He's got good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to check him out.
He froze up.
I usually don't watch a lot of automotive mechanic channels, just because I sometimes do. If they have like tool videos, then I watch their tools or toolbox videos just to kind of see what people have, what people are running in their businesses. But as far as like me trying to look up how to, they post a video on how to diagnose a Camry, then I'm like, I have no need to watch this,
Yeah.
But if it comes down to my own personal vehicle, then yeah, I'd go on YouTube and try to find a mechanic and try to watch the video. But I don't, keep track of how other mechanics work on other vehicles.
He usually does a lot of like heavier equipment, like JC Smith does.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen JC Smith's videos. Isn't he the guy that buys the Ford trucks, right? He's all into Fords.
He pretty much just buys anything with a big engine. I think that's his whole thing is he buys equipment and flips it.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's everybody been working on today? I mean, I fixed I just had your basic snowblower carburetor repair, or a clean. And what I did was I noticed that the guy had low oil, very pitch black oil, and I kind of upselled him on a tune-up. So instead of it just being a carb clean, I told him, hey, why don't I just tune up your whole snowblower for you and go through it all and lube it? And he said, yeah, let's do that. So instead of me charging him, $40 plus a $25 pickup delivery fee, the bill totaled out to be, I think it was like $125. Just by me giving him a phone call and letting him know that, hey, this is what's going on with your snowblower, this is what I'd recommend, I made more money. Simple as that.
Yeah, I was working on I had a Craftsman snowblower in here. It's got one of those newer engines on it. Like I think it's a Lawson engine, which is Chinese. And I like those engines. They run really well. They kind of have like a Honda looking carburetor. But this is the older Lawson snowblower engine. And man, this thing was particularly hard to get to the carburetor and like remove the panels to get in there and access it. I don't know. So yeah, I was probably working on it for an hour and 20 minutes, and yeah, it was in pretty bad shape because I think the guy left the thing outside, and I took off the bowl, and the whole thing was like rusted. The needle was leaking, and it was just a hot mess. So I went through and replaced a lot of parts in that, and luckily it started right up, and I had to run and pick up my kid at basketball, but I think it was running a little bit on choke, and then I took it off choke, and it seemed to be running fine, but I didn't really run it long enough to know for sure. But I feel good about it.
Now, Bob, when do you make the judgment call of I have to replace this carburetor? I know for a fact a rebuild kit won't work, or I know for a fact my carb clean is just going to be a waste of time. When do you make that call? Like what has to be present? What has to be visually present in order for you to make that call?
Well, first of all, you got to take the carburetor off. So once you open the bowl, you can pretty much tell, is it worth cleaning? Now, this one was not worth cleaning, but I know for a fact I don't have any in stock that were this model. So, rather than, waste my time looking one up and ordering it, I always run them through the ultrasonic cleaner and try and get them going. And I was really hoping that this one would be good because it was a pain to take apart. But I don't know. I mean, I get a lot of the aftermarket carbs, and they're pretty cheap. And you know, you can usually save people money just by switching the carb. You know.
Yeah. Like recently, I was working on an Onan generator, and it's hard to find. I guess it's hard to find Onan parts. Not really. I went off of the carburetor itself, but when I took the carburetor off, I told the customer that we should be able to clean it. Just, you know, I told him if it's really bad, then we're gonna have to replace it. But I took the carburetor off, and the first thing I saw was rust in the bowl, and I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna be cleaning this carb because I don't want this carb. I've always been taught that if there's rust in the carb, you replace it. You know, automatically. And then, I mean, you can take your time to clean it, and it might take you a few times to clean it to spec, you know, to make sure that it's super clean. But that's all on your time, right? So if it takes you, 20, 30 minutes to clean a carb, then you're going to have to take 20, 30 minutes, 3 or 4 times to clean that carb. So you're, an hour and a half just to clean a carburetor, just to kind of get all the gunk removed, get all the rust removed. And it might take, over a day just to let that carb soak or let it sit in some, rust remover or whatever. So I feel like, when I see rust, I automatically assume it's a toss. I toss it and just replace it. There's no point of trying to clean it. Unless it's a carb that doesn't exist anymore. Then, of course, you're going to have to take your chances in cleaning it the best you can, and hopefully it'll run correctly.
This one took a little more time. Like I said, it probably took me an hour and a half. I'll charge them, an hour. And, I did replace all the gaskets and stuff, but it did get really clean. One of the things with that rusty bowl, a wire brush and a drill, like one of those cup brushes, spray it with some WD-40, run that in there, and that'll clean it up. The only problem is that, the bowl doesn't have the coating on it anymore.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, what frustrates me about these carburetors.
So then the rust comes back eventually, and it'll clog up the jet.
Yeah, that's a possibility. What were you saying, David?
What gets me about some of these carburetors nowadays, you can't find the kits for them anymore. That's what's frustrating to me.
Oh, especially
like these
Tecumseh carbs.
Yeah, those are the really hard ones. I mean, I went on Direct Parts, some of the sites that Terrell's got on his show, they don't even carry them. Discontinued.
Yeah. OEM ones, sometimes you can find aftermarket, or rebranded, so they say, rebuilt kits for those carbs. But I've honestly had good luck with aftermarket carbs. Tecumseh aftermarket carbs, that is, and MTD aftermarket carbs. I mean, they're all Chinese.
Yeah.
And the only problem I have had sometimes is the float bowl gasket would leak. And Tecumseh still, well, they don't make or produce float bowl gaskets, but they're so generic nowadays that, Oregon makes a good replacement float bowl gasket. And sometimes where I go to get my parts, they can still order some Tecumseh parts because that warehouse still carries Tecumseh parts. So like the 6310288A float bowl gaskets, the Tecumseh ones, they have loads of those gaskets, and I get a bunch of them and keep them in stock just because you never know when you have to just replace a gasket when cleaning a carb.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Nick, you headed home, or are you still working, or what?
Crickets.
All right.
Oh, I'm like 20 minutes, mate. I'm on my way home now.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to run, but it was good chatting with you.
Yeah, sounds good, Bob. Hey, take care, man. Have a good night.
See you guys.
All day's work now, Phil.
Yep.
Yeah. homeward bound. We got storms and flash floods. So can't do too much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, David, did that customer ever pick up his single stage?
Nope.
Even when it snowed? Wow.
Yep. Yeah, I'm still waiting on two of them to contact me. The one with the yard machine, he's dodging me like nobody's business. I mean, I've called him, emailed him, he blocked my phone, everything.
Wow.
So he's not returning my phone calls or anything. So
one thing in this business, you got to hold on to it, because you never know when he's going to come crying for it, or trying to claim it. But.
So, I'm going to have my my sister help me write up a clause. From now on, I'm going to, say, hey.
Have people sign it when they drop off the equipment?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I have the program in my computer. I just got to print it out and write it up and stuff like that, and print it out. Have people start signing it, because it's gonna hurt my business if I don't. So so got to start making some changes.
Well, over time, we kind of figure out how to run more smoothly, more proficiently of our businesses. So I agree with that.
So,
I plan on making a tool video come springtime.
Cool.
Yeah, hopefully. The winter time is a little harsh, but
and like I said,
getting out there.
You need to start getting your hands a little dirty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's how we all learn.
Maybe we should all pull together and send this guy some tools to get him on his way.
Yeah, I'm looking on Amazon for different tools, and they're pretty good priced. For an impact socket battery, about $200. Now, that's the cheapest one I found so far, so I don't know. I know, yeah.
One thing I want to mention is if you want to go with battery operated tools, just stick to one line.
Like one brand?
Yeah, one brand.
Yeah.
So your batteries will work with all the same equipment.
Exactly. Yeah, because then you can collect batteries over time, and find batteries at local pawn shops that you can use, and then you won't have to worry about just having one battery, for that tool. You'll have multiple batteries. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all my tools ready and everything kind of organized before I officially start, if I want to say.
Yeah, Steven says this for you, David. Yeah, after 3 certified letters, keep the machine.
Yep.
That's good information right there.
Yeah, works for me. I should have been doing it, way before now, but we all live and learn, and we make our mistakes, and so.
Yep, we all learn from our mistakes,
Definitely.
But see, nobody likes to share their mistakes publicly.
No.
We all try to keep it to ourselves. Right? But it's always good to share your mistakes publicly, because then others will learn from them.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, Beth Spitolsky says Ace Hardware has a nice set of Craftsman ratchets for $10 at the minimum, at the min 3/8 quarter inch.
Well, I would have to find a company here in Canada, because unfortunately I don't think we have Harbor Freights here. We might. I don't know.
Ace Hardwares?
Yeah, I don't think we do. I think we have like Home Hardware and Canadian Tire and that kind of stuff.
Oh, Canadian Tire is kind of like.
That's a Harbor Freight. Yeah, that's the Harbor Freight.
Yeah, so I guess we just call it differently, something different. But
cool.
Mick's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Mick, we keep on losing you.
Yeah, we've got bad floods over here and storms, so the internet's not brilliant.
Oh, you guys got flooding going on? A lot of rain or what?
Flooding and high winds.
Oh, so that means we'll be seeing some generator videos maybe later on.
No, in the UK, the people are just too tight. They'd rather go out and buy a pack of candles than buy a generator.
Are you kidding me? Wow. Here in the US, man, you won't survive without a generator, man. I'm telling you.
Even if we had snowfill, if we had like 3 feet of snow for like 4 weeks, people would rather go out and buy 2 shovels than go and buy a snowblower.
Wow. So does that impact your business then, Mick, or what do you think?
What I'm doing now?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I work for the railroad.
Oh, that's right. You don't. Oh, I'm sorry. You fixed a flip, right?
I fix the flip, mate. Yeah, fix the flip is a hobby, and my full-time job is actually a railroadman. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Have you ever considered like taking on any, or have you ever took on any client work, fixing machines for clients?
Yeah, I've had a few contracts and still got some contracts in. Excuse my hand, I'm using a stick drive vehicle rather than automatic. Yeah, I've got some contracts in place, but I don't want to get too into it with regards to contracts, Phil, because it is a hobby and I do enjoy it. So you know what it's like if it gets a bit too busy where you're getting like 20 or 30 machines lined up, it becomes a bit more of a business than it does actually a hobby, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
And that's not for me. The full-time job I've got now pays enough money to pay all the bills. I don't do no overtime. So yeah, the mower repair I do and what have you, the small engine stuff is just a hobby.
That's good. Yeah, because then people aren't leaning on your shoulders, wanting their machines repaired. Yeah. So it's all on your time.
And the advantage is, Phil, is that someone can come to you on a Friday night, and he might be a professional lawn care guy, and he wants his machine back Sunday morning, and because I'm not that busy, I can do that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good pointer. I mean, I know a lot of people surrounding it, or like a lot of these, a lot of YouTube guys do this as a hobby, and I full on am on that train. I agree with that because I did it as a hobby just to kind of start out to see where it'll go, but I also was working a full-time job, and I figured that I wanted to run business myself instead of working at a 9-to-5. So I was just my own.
I could turn it into a business right now. Overnight, I could turn it into a business, no problem at all. But I wouldn't earn the money that I earn on here.
Yep, and that's the thing. I had to make sure that my income was doubled before I'd even jump into full-time business.
Yeah.
Before I took that step, it wasn't that I was making the same amount of money. It was when I double my income, that's when I know I will take that full-time step into business.
Exactly that. I mean, on here, the life assurance, the pension, final salary, I can't touch it. It's really good money for what it is. So, and the advantage is there's lots of commercial lawn care or small engine guys in my area, and they pass on work to me because they don't have time to be doing just standard servicing, full court recoils or tune-ups or whatever. So I get a lot of that work come through anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. William asks, Phil, are you a licensed company like Double White 6? Yeah, I am, William. I got a fully licensed. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you an LLC company? Yeah, I'm an LLC company. Sorry about that. I misread it. Yeah. That's great.
How big of a toolbox would you guys recommend? How big of a toolbox? Yeah.
Just starting out, buy a toolbox that'll hold all of the tools that you have. Don't buy anything excessively big. I had to buy a big box because I had so much tools and I didn't know where to store them all. I'm not going to store them on the floor. So depending on the amount of tools that you have and depending on your budget, your price range, I'd buy what you feel comfortable with. I've seen some guys with small toolboxes, those Craftsman handheld ones that you can carry. I've seen them store all their tools in there. I mean, it's not the most organized, but it's definitely convenient, portable. Take it with you on a job site if you need to.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Craftsman. It's about up top. It's it's a chest that sits on top, and then the bottom has like I don't know 8 drawers, and then on the top it has but it was my brother's. I inherited it, so I mean it's from back in the day. But you can get you a nice little box. If you got a garage or wherever you're gonna keep your stuff, or $250, a good starter toolbox probably, and get by with that. I mean, as long as you keep it out of the weather, it'll protect your tools from getting wet, and you can organize your stuff. At least, man, the biggest thing is find you a place to put your tools where you know where they are when you need them. And try to get in the practice of putting them back up after you're done using them. And that's easier said than done.
Nick, you're the best at organizing your tools. I know that.
Say again?
I said, Mick, you're the best at organizing your tools.
I'm going through a valley. I might lose them.
Oh. But I was lucky enough to, when I first started out in the trade, I thought I was going to be an auto body technician or auto body refinishing technician. So just, fix damaged cars and spray them and, do the whole paint job on them. And so I took that in my college that I went to a community college, and I took that class, and I luckily got financial aid. And I used that financial aid money in order to buy my first toolbox and a whole set of tools that I needed. So I was thankful enough to kind of have the school pay for my tools. And I got to keep those tools when I finished school, but I didn't go into that trade. It was not for me. Yeah. I figured that out after I took the 2 years of that school. I went to go work at a body shop and didn't last a month.
Yeah.
It's not the same, man. It's definitely not the same. What they teach you in school is definitely not the same as what you actually experience at a job.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, everyone mix.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're going to be wrapping this up. We just hit that 2-hour mark, and we got to do some errands around the house. So it's been nice chatting with you guys again. I try to do that hour where we answer questions, and then the last hour we'd finish off with just chatting how things are, how people are, and if anybody else has questions. But I appreciate you guys joining on here.
Sure thing, man.
I'll try to figure out that volume problem on the next before the next video.
No worries, Jungle Bob. Hey, one more question for Matt. VE1AXC says, where are you in Canada, if you want to share?
I'm in Ontario. So,
hey, how's your
right now,
is your hockey season going to start this year? Is that going to work out this year? Are they going to let the NHL play?
I have no clue. No idea. Maybe. Maybe not.
Play with no fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
All right, guys. Sounds good. We're going to be jumping off here, so we appreciate you guys joining us. Matt, David, Jungle Bob, Double White 6, Mick, and the rest of the people that were on here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, all of our viewers that have been supporters of this channel. We appreciate you guys and all of the questions that have been asked. I am very sorry if I didn't answer your question or have missed it. We will try to get it done on the next live stream or the next live Q&A that we do, but definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. This has been Phil with Small Engine Nation. Look who's in the basement. Nick, we are out of here, brother. We are done with the stream.
Sorry,
I hope you have no worries, man. Have a good night. Drive safe. Take care.
All right, buddy boy. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, all right. Take care, guys. David, Matt, you guys have a good night.
You too.
We'll see you guys later.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.